I've been looking for a good moment to start filming for a few minutes now, and there's always some commotion going on. Like, it's either my dogs trying to instigate with each other. Now it's my cat back there. He's been eating for like 10 minutes on and off. So if you guys hear cat food chewing, I'm sorry, but I don't know how long he's gonna go on for. We're just gonna go ahead with this video. Oh, also, how cute is this glass? I just got this for my birthday. My quarantine survival glass. It was a gift from one of my very close friends. I just had to share that because I thought it was very cute. I mentioned to you guys a little bit earlier that I would be covering dupe fragrances and the best dupes for popular fragrances, since we're all in the mood to save some money these days. And honestly, I've decided that there's nothing wrong with a good dupe as long as it's executed very well. Coincidentally, I happened to discover an incredible dupe brand, and I've been on the hunt for good dupes for a while. I haven't covered dupes on my channel because I haven't found good dupes, to be completely honest, and the only dupes that I have covered are fragrance oils, but that's kind of in its own category. So if you guys want to check out the fragrance oils video, I'll link it up at the top, and I also have another fragrance oils video coming up soon, but this one is specifically like spray formulation fragrances. The brand that I'm talking about is called Oakcha. So I have a lot of fragrances here. Some of them I've purchased, some of them were sent to me. I'm gonna go through each of the ones that I have. I'll tell you guys how they compare to the original. I have men's fragrances here and women's and unisex. I'll explain to you guys why this dupe brand, in my opinion, is better than other dupe brands. I have tried a whole bunch, so let's just get right into it. The thing with this brand is that they're all really concentrated. They have a 30% fragrance oil concentration, which means that they're gonna last long. That's never gonna be a problem. They're way more concentrated than the original fragrances that come in an eau de toilette or an eau de parfum concentration. These ones are extrait de parfum, so they're way, way stronger. And I've tested all of these on my skin already. They do all last really long. And the price points are really, really affordable. I'm gonna give you guys a promo code at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. This isn't a sponsored video, but they did send me these for free with like no obligation to review them at all. But I tried them and I just think that they're such a great discovery. I'll show you guys the packaging. So they come in packaging like this. And it opens up and you have your fragrance inside. And this one, we're gonna start with the most popular, most sought after dupe. This is a dupe of Baccarat Rouge 540 by Maison Francis Kurkdjian, which I actually do have a full bottle of, but it's not full anymore. So it's a 30 ml bottle. You like literally need 1 or 2 sprays. This one is so strong. Like I can't even spray this on my neck because it's extremely, extremely strong. So as you can see, here's my full bottle of Baccarat Rouge, except that it's not full because there's like literally a tiny drop in there. I did a side-by-side comparison. It is absolutely identical. I'll spray it right now. And we're gonna do a side-by-side comparison right now. They literally smell identical. They smell identical to my nose. I wore this around someone who's familiar with Baccarat Rouge, and they actually asked me if I'm wearing Baccarat Rouge 540, and I said, no, I'm wearing SWEVEN. So this one's a winner. These bottles are under $40 for the 30 ml, which brings me to the first point as to why I think that this brand is better than certain other dupe brands that I've also tried that do have good dupes. There are other brands that have good quality dupes, but these ones are more affordable. Like some of the other brands go for 60 for 30 ml or 43 or something like 50, but then plus the shipping. These guys offer you free shipping and it's like $39.95 US for this bottle. So they are way more affordable. The next fragrance is also from the MFK dupe group. This one is called KALON. Not to be confused with KALON from Parfums de Marly. That's a poor name choice, but aside from that, this fragrance is a dupe for Gentle Fluidity Gold. Let me tell you a quick story about Gentle Fluidity Gold. I ordered a sample from the MFK website and I remember smelling it before and it smelling really good, and I got the sample and something was either wrong with it or I don't know what happened. Maybe something was wrong with my nose. It smelled just like alcohol. Like, I could not get past the alcohol in that fragrance, and it always smelled really weird to me. And I was like, I know this is a beautiful fragrance because I've smelled it before and it smelled really good. And now for some reason, I just can't smell it. So there was something in there that I was anosmic to. And I was like, let me get this dupe. Let's see if it's the same thing. I got KALON, and literally this is my favorite at the moment. It's just like creamy, sweet, ambery goodness that kind of smells like orange. Like, it kind of smells like a, for some weird reason, because there's no orange note in here, it kind of smells like it has an orange creamsicle vibe. Let's give it a quick spray. I love this. Like, it's so good. I probably wouldn't be wearing it in the summer. Oh my god, my cat's screaming again. This cat ran out this morning and ran all the way down my street, and I had to go get him from my neighbor's like cedar trees because he got all frightened and spooked and didn't know what to do with himself. Now he wants to go back out. I absolutely love this. Like, I'm not even kidding you guys. This is my favorite at the moment. KALON. Why KALON? Can't be sure. But it's a dupe for Gentle Fluidity Gold. And so I can't say this is spot on because it smells different to me, but it smells really good for the reason that Gentle Fluidity Gold I could not smell. There was something about it that I could not smell. But this one I can, and it smells amazing. The next one is SARANG, and this one is a dupe for Erba Pura. I love the way that this opens up. It has a really like shampoo-y, clean, fruity smell about it. I honestly am not a huge fan of Erba Pura because I think that it's quite expensive for what it is, and that synthetic note, it's in here too. Actually, I have to spray this on clothing because on the skin that synthetic note comes out, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's the same synthetic note that it really is in Erba Pura. So I'd say it's very, very accurate. The other thing that I have to say with these fragrances is that because of the high oil concentration and maybe better aroma chemicals or stabilizers that they use, it doesn't have that very strong alcohol opening and like undercurrent that most dupes have. I recently tried another dupe brand and I was so disappointed because of how strong that alcohol undercurrent was. It's like I can tell what fragrance it's trying to be, but that alcohol takes over and I just can't. This doesn't have it at all. Like, you spray it and you smell the fragrance right away. I'm seeing in my peripherals the animal activity going on behind me. Guys, please disregard. Anyway, yeah, if you guys are fans of Erba Pura, try this one because it personally, as a fragrance though, Erba Pura is not my favorite. So this dupe is also not my favorite. But if you guys are into that fragrance, try the dupe because why not save yourself some money? It actually smells really nice on the paper. It smells like a really nice expensive hairspray or hair product, like something like from a salon. It just like got that fruity something that came out of an aerosol can smell, like a nice, really nice hairspray. It's just on my skin. That synthetic note really comes out and I don't really enjoy it all that much. It is accurate. That I'm not going to take away from them. This other fragrance I was absolutely dying to try, and it's called NERVIO. And if my camera would focus, it is a dupe of Mortal Skin by Stephanie Humbert Lucas 777. This is a fragrance that I would have never had the opportunity to try because I have never seen it in stores. I am not about to blind buy something that expensive, and it sounds like it wouldn't be blind buy safe at all because it has notes of like ink, blackberry, incense, myrrh. Oh my god, like all these crazy notes. And I was like, I'm really curious to know what it smells like, but I don't want to shell out the big bucks for it. Anyway, it is very dark, very mysterious, very balsamic. It's very sensual. It's like, it's vampy. It's like a very gothic, dark, vampy boss bitch. That's what this smells like. It's a really boss bitch fragrance. But I would not wear this in the summer. I'm gonna have to try to wear this in the winter, and I'll be honest, I did not actually try this on the skin. I sprayed it on paper. I didn't want to be that edgy. It's super warm outside, and I just wasn't ready for it. but I like it a lot. And for some reason, the image that it comes to mind is like a really like edgy snake handler. That's really weird. Maybe it's because the original bottle looks like it has snake skin on it. I'm really not that creative. But yeah, that's the vibe I get from this. And it's really, really well crafted. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. It's their food time and they know. Moving on to some masculine fragrances, we have City Explorer, and this is a dupe for Creed Original Santal. This one I love. This one to me is super sexy, super versatile, like really, really manly. It's got woody notes, juniper, lavender. It's a very accurate dupe of Original Santal. I've tried that one in store. The smell's almost identical. No synthetic vibes, no weird alcohol. This is what I love about this brand is there's actually no weird alcohol underlying note there at all. Like at all. This one is actually really, really sexy, very attractive, a very nice masculine fragrance. Next is GEZELLIG. Can you guys guess what this is a dupe of? These names are really weird, and I can't remember what each one is a dupe of for the life of me, but this is a dupe of Tom Ford Venetian Bergamot. Very strong gardenia, very strong like tropical vibes in the opening. That suntan lotiony sort of vibe, bergamot, ylang, those like very, very summery notes. It's very summery, very creamy. Excuse me? This one I see as more of a feminine fragrance. I don't think this is something I'd want to smell on a guy, but I've worn this one a couple times. It lasts so long. And back to the... Oh my God, Bernie is not going to be quiet. Back to what I was saying about how it's super hard to remember the association of each name and what fragrance it's a dupe of. I accidentally once layered this with a dupe of Silver Mountain Water, and it was so good. It like toned it down and made it a little bit more citrusy, a little bit more unisex, really different smelling. We're gonna get to that dupe soon. But this one, GEZELLIG, the dupe of Venetian Bergamot, is just a really gorgeous creamy gardenia with bergamot. It's a really nice summer fragrance. It does remind me a little bit of Soleil Blanc, but better. Now the Silver Mountain Water dupe. BURGEON. Why this name? Like, what's the concept behind the name? I also have the fragrance oil of Silver Mountain Water, and they smell identical, and they're both very, very good dupes. The advantage of having the spray is that you can spray it on clothes. The oil, you can't put it on your clothing. It's going to stain. But the fragrance, the extrait de parfum, you can spray it on your clothing and it won't do any damage. Plus, all fragrances tend to last longer on clothing. Yeah, this is absolutely identical. I don't know what else to say. It smells exactly like Silver Mountain Water. It's a really great summery, masculine fragrance. Then we have Old Barrel, and this is a dupe for Tom Ford Beau de Jour. This is a classic aromatic fougere, like a classic barbershop scent. This is very, very masculine, very old school vibes, which I love. Aromatic fougeres for men are like some of my favorite fragrances. It just smells like a great barbershop scent. It's got a lot of herbal notes in here. It's got a strong lavender note. It has rosemary, mint. You can smell all of that. It's very, very well crafted. There's a patchouli in here. Oak moss. It's very, very good. Like, if you don't want to spend the big bucks for Tom Ford, which personally, in my opinion, I do think that they're severely overpriced. The thing is, when a fragrance is really overpriced, or if a fragrance lacks performance, you know, I don't see a problem with getting a dupe. A lot of the time, I do like to still have the original fragrance, like for example with Baccarat Rouge. You know, having a dupe sometimes just isn't as satisfying as having the original bottle. I get that. But when it's a really well-crafted dupe and it's like a fragrance that you really don't mind having a dupe of, why not? I really wish that these guys had more selection, because they do have a little bit of a limited selection, at least at the moment, and they do have a lot more masculine fragrances. So for me, it's hard to find something. Like, I wish that they would do a dupe of Byredo Bal d'Afrique, or, you know, Parfums de Marly de Lina. I know a lot of people really love that one. I personally don't really care, but for people that want it, like I've heard countless times that people don't want to pay the big bucks for Delina, and I get that. Like, guys, Oakcha, please make a dupe of Delina and Beau de Jour. Now, moving on to the two that I actually purchased with my own money that started this whole dupe adventure for me. LUDIC, this one I've talked about a few times, and this is a dupe of Eau de Memo. This is one of my absolute favorite tea and leather fragrances. It's really fresh and really rich at the same time. I actually wear this one quite often. I wear it to work. I wore it in the fall, and I'm wearing it now in the summer. I just love it. It's a really interesting combination. It's a very smooth blend. It has a great balance of citrus, tea, and leather. Like the leather there is so subtle, but it adds a really interesting dynamic to the fragrance. And so it's actually probably, of all the ones that I have from this brand, one of my favorites. I recommend LUDIC to everybody, like men and women. It's so good. I actually honestly have never smelled the original Eau de Memo. I don't know when I'll get a chance to do that. So I haven't had the opportunity to compare them. But based on all the other ones that are pretty much spot on, I imagine that this one is too. Moving on to the last fragrance that I have, I bought this one, and this one's called SORCERY. I bought it because I was really intrigued by the notes. There's vanilla, tropical flowers, rose, ambergris, I don't remember what else, but it sounded like a very light fragrance to me. Even though the description of it was like witchy and dark and mysterious, it's a very unusual fragrance. It is salty and it's sweet at the same time. I guess the vanilla and the rose make it sweet. I don't pick up the tropical flowers, but I do pick up the ambergris, and it has that sort of animalic saltiness. It's a murdery rose. That's how I would describe this. Is like an evil murdery rose. It's kind of sweet, it lures you in, and then it just kills you. It's intense, and this one I wore, and one spray, thank God I only put one spray, because that was more than enough. So yeah, if you're interested in like a really edgy, interesting, dark, but sweet rose, this would be a very interesting pick, and I'm surprised because it packs quite a punch, and it's their own original blend. If you guys are interested in checking out this brand, I will link them down below, and my promo code is Yana15. I'll put it down at the bottom as well, and it'll save you guys 15% off. I don't think there's an expiration date on that, so as far as I know, you can use it whenever and as many times as you want. And I think they do offer free shipping over a $75 purchase. All of these, they're like $39.95, I think, and they come packaged really nicely. Truthfully, in my honest opinion, these are the best dupes, like the best dupe brand that I've ever personally tried. My neighbor is mowing his lawn. That's perfect timing. I'll tell you guys my personal favorites. So for me personally, I liked KALON. That's the dupe of Gentle Fluidity Gold for women, and as well as LUDIC. But LUDIC is like unisex. So I guess KALON is my pick for a feminine fragrance, which is a dupe of Gentle Fluidity Gold. Then LUDIC is my pick for unisex fragrances, and for a men's fragrance, I would actually pick City Explorer, which is a dupe of Original Santal by Creed. The one I liked the least, honestly, was the dupe of Erba Pura, which was SARANG, but that's just because I don't really like that fragrance. I can't really say that there's a masculine one out of the ones that I ordered that I dislike, but I would say that City Explorer was my favorite of the bunch, and then probably closely followed by Beau de Jour, which is called Old Barrel, I think. Really hard to remember these names. Let me know if you guys have tried Oakcha and what you think of them, and let me know what other dupe brands that I should check out. I really want to find a really good dupe of Beau de Jour, and maybe Midnight Poison by Dior. I have an oil, but I'd like to have a spray. So if you guys know any dupe brands that have those, please mention them down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.